Hey, welcome everybody. Uh, it was either this or buy a piano. I seriously was thinking about buying a Yamaha electronic keyboard and teaching myself how to play the piano. Only thing I can play is the radio. So I figured I'm in my little space here. I don't have much to do. Heck, I'll go ahead and build another airplane. I already got 5 here. So let me see here. I got 3 viewers already. Let's see here. How this is going to work is I'm going to build for an hour, and then I'm going to open up the screen for questions. So let's see here. I have not done anything to get this airplane started, except for lay the plans out. Now, while I was home, I brought my secret stash of wood, and some of it's bad, but looks like we got some crappy stuff here. We're not going to use anything that's 5 pounds, so it's all going to be 4 pound or 5 pound or less. I know these are, but these are some really good blocks, wingtips. Another good piece, super good. So we got the 1/2 inch for the come on, sticking. I'm looking at the chat, or I can see the chat. If you want to type it in there, you can type it in. I will open it up. I'm not going to stay on like a regular hangout or anything like that, because this is a build-a-thon, build-a-log, or whatever. I should probably post this in the building section, and I probably will. But for now, if you want to join the stream after I build here and have a question, it'll be it will be in the building section, not at the bench, because that's basically Rusty's gig, at the bench. So I have a piece of, I know this is 4.5 pound wood for the bottom block. It says we got to have a 1/2 inch bottom piece, so we're going to use that for the bottom. These are 4 pound. These are, let's see here. Yeah, these are 119, 18 grams on that, 17. Now, a couple of things I'm going to change on the Tucker. Not that I can design it any better. I'm not going to change the parameters at all. I'm just going to change how it's put together. We got the 1/8 inch fuselage side. I want to get the lightest ones I can here. 19. Contest. These are old, that's old wood. SIG. $1.26 a sheet for 1/8 inch. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a real nice one. So is that one. So I got my fuselage sides picked out here. The grain's nice and straight. 2 1/8 inch sides. It may be straight, but that one of them boards is warped to read heck. That one's no good, so I gotta use this one. Yeah, that's better. The fuselage sides here. I bought some template material off Amazon, trying to get around buying C-temp. The suggestion is don't bother. C-temp is the way to go. Tom Morris. It wouldn't, I mean, it's going to work for what I'm going to do with it here, but it would not work in my cutter. It's too thick. So we have the elevators, stabilizer. I don't have any 1/4 inch for the flaps, so I'm probably going to use 1/8. I figure about 40 days, maybe 50 days to get it on its wheels. Now you think, well, an hour a day. I'm not going to do any work on this off camera. So anything that you see here is going to all be done on camera. Right now I'm just sighting down the wood to see how bad it's pulled. We're going to relieve that, get a straight edge on it, and kind of mark it out. So first thing I'm going to do is take the, I don't want to cut the flange up. I'm in a very small 1-room apartment, so to speak, a studio or whatever. And I don't have anything to do at night, so watch TV and do nothing. I take a nap after work, but so first thing you want to do is we're going to true up the datum line. It's best to mark that so you know where it's straight. So if I can find a pen here, razor blade. Here we go. We'll put an arrow on the top. Wish they'd make a pen that wrote on balsa and didn't clog up or whatever. Now there's many ways to skin a cat. You can do it any way you like. This is just how I do it. I seem to be able to build these pretty fast. Oh, I don't like that piece either. This stuff, this wood that I brought from home may be light, but boy, some of it sure is bowed. That means the grain is running crazy. Now, a couple of guys have said, well, I'm building this and I'm building that. I got to tell you, don't waste your time building kits. The wood in the kit is just too damn heavy. I'll go ahead and use that one again. That one's bent. We want this airplane to come out around 38 to 40 ounces, because that's where I hear they flew the best. Use that one, I guess. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make up our kit. That looks like a good straight piece. ruler moved on me. Let's see, no, we got 6 watchers. Hey, smash that thumbs up button, send me a super chat, let me know I'm doing good. Share the video, pass it around. I just spent $700 on stun hanger. Yeah, it's a real money maker there. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take these 2 sheets and glue them together. When I say glue them together, I'm not going to glue them real good. I'm just going to tack them. I'm going to cut them both at the same time. Now, a good trick, I don't know where I look down here. I got a piece of sandpaper on this glass. I just run over them, make sure that's straight. Okay, the datum line is straight. I'll mark it top. This square, I've never seen one like it. I'm sure they're out there, but this was my great-grandfather's, or my grandfather's, excuse me. And it got passed down to me. My dad gave it to me. I use it all the time because it's pretty handy. But what I'm going to do with this is we're going to square the nose ring area up. It's a little out of square to that datum line that I just put on. So let's see if I can find a sanding block real quick with 80 on it. I got some titanium for motor mounts. I have to gonna have to machine. So we get the small block here. Take the 320 off. I've got to order some more sandpaper. I get this paper from Amazon. It's good stuff. This red paper is from 3M. It's really, really good. I can leave the part numbers in the descriptions should anybody be interested in the part numbers of the sandpaper that I get. Not Bernie Trent sandpaper, but just as good. So, sticky back. I like these Durablocks, as I've mentioned in the past. I got them from Amazon as well. They feel like a balsa wood block, but they're really straight and nice. I mean, I like them. If you're going to build airplanes, you got to be a sander. Okay, the trick that I get to square them up is I've got my datum line. We know that's the line that's going to be the square line. The bottom doesn't much matter, so you want to put the square on the edge as such. And then hold it square, and then just square up the end. And it'll stop standing when it hits the square. Okay, that's where the nose ring's going to go. Let's see if it's square. Perfect. Okay, the next thing is we're going to lay out the sides, fuselage sides. I kind of wish I was at home so that I had some bench area, or at least over John's house. But John lives about 15 miles from here, and it's kind of hard for me to run across town after work or whatever. So I just work in my little shop here. It's either that or, like I said, buy an electric piano and teach myself how to play piano, and I can play the radio. Okay. If you'll notice here on the plans, I've drawn another line. That's my cowl line. For this Tucker Special didn't have a cowl on it. It had an open arrangement. Well, I don't particularly care for that. That's what I mean by changing the plans or the layout of certain things. So I'm going to put a cowl line in it, but I really don't like this line. I'm going to change that up again. Now, the original thought was to use this Fox 35. Simply because of the weight. They are light, but they don't have any power. It's terrible. So I think I'm going to use this OS32F helicopter motor. And they're about the same weight. This has got twice the power as a Fox 35. Of course, it doesn't run a 2.4 brake, but who cares? Gotta take this prop off. You kind of got to make up your mind what you're going to use before you start the layout or whatever. As I stated, I laid that cowl line out before I decided what motor I'm going to use. So we're going to weigh these, and we're going to see what the difference is in weight. And if it's 2 ounces, then I won't be using it. But if it's an ounce, I can live with an ounce extra on the nose. This thing calls for a prop extension. So it's calling for a prop extension. I don't have one. Most of the guys back in the day used a Fox prop extension. We'll have to make one for either engine that I'm going to use. But I want to get a weight on this. I have to make a venturi for this. Back in '99, I had an airplane called the Sorcerer. You can see it in the, maybe it was '98. I'm not sure. You can see that in the gallery. It had this engine there, the OS32F. They really work good. Got to get this off here. What the heck is holding it on? Let's see, we got a question here or something. Wing jigs. I don't really use them. I make my own as I go. But this particular one, it'll be a lost foam airplane. I'll take this nut off. I will show how we cut a foam jig. I don't know whether you have any way to cut a jig, but Bob Hunt offers a service for lost foam jigs, and he's probably one of the best foam cutters that I know of. Okay, so we're going to weigh the two engines. Fox 35 weighs 600 grams. 32F weighs, wow, that's quite a bit of difference. Oh. We might be using a Fox 35. Oh, there we go. It's not grams, it's 7.5, 6. This motor here is 1.5 ounces heavier. I got to think about that. The difference in power is amazing. But I kind of want to, I used to fly with a guy, Ron O'Toole, and he always boasted how good the Tucker Special flew. I've never flown one. They use these Fox 35s in them. But now you got to run a muffler, so I don't know. We'll think about that. We'll get this cut up, and I'll make a decision. I think it's going to be the 32F anyway. 1.5 ounces. The only problem is 1.5 ounces. That's 1.5 ounces less paint I can use. Yeah, we'll use a 32. That means that's only a coat, one coat of paint difference. Okay. It's 11.5 wide. I'll save that. I cleaned my pens out today because tomorrow I'm going to clear my Junar profile. Make sure this is the Junar profile, and ink it. I might show that on tape too. So, excuse me. There's another difference I'm going to do. There's a 16th-inch plywood nose ring. Well, that's not enough. Not for a cowl. So you got to have an 1/8 inch. So we're going to hold it back 1/8 inch off of this. And mark a line. Now, when I mount my cowls, I leave the bottom half of the nose ring on and drill a hole for a dowel. So a 16th-inch nose ring, while it's half the weight, it's also half the strength. And anybody that's done any flying or whatever knows that those motors or those nose rings take a beating. You could do carbon or something like that, but that's weight. Now on this airplane, everything is balsa wood unless stated otherwise. Even the doublers. I don't. The side doublers are hard balsa, so this one is built with the Randy Smith style technology, which is kind of odd, but so we're going to cut the length on this. I got to pull this down because, like I said, I don't have much room. And how I do this is I'm going to hold. Let me take the flange, back the flange up here. I'll show you how I get a nice square cut with the Zona saw. I can't put this in a miter, but I can miter the cut. by holding the square up there. So that cut should be perfectly square. Should be. And now the teeth are not glued, so you got to be careful. I don't have any tape in here, so I better put a dab of glue on the top there. We don't want to cut these sides out of. We want the sides exactly the same. A little bit of CA right on the top. We can always cut it apart. It's one drop, just enough to hold it. I'm going to mark it off the plans here. Let's see. This line right here. Okay. Now this looks like it's a straight line to right there. Well, at the swap meet, I bought a giant box of stuff. I'll show you that probably at another time, but a giant box of stuff. And all this stuff that's in there is all kind of different things. J-bolts and nuts and washers and it's all kind of crap. We got pilots. So I thought that was pretty cool to get all that stuff. So we're going to measure here. Now if I can find a real ruler instead of a meter stick. There we go. Nope. Yep, there we go. Now on that line, it measures 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Two and 3/4. Tomorrow night will probably be cutting the parts out for the elevator stabilizer. And towards me, I mean, it's different cutting methods for different people, but so the first thing you want to do when you're building a scratch-built airplane is make yourself a kit. That's how I do it anyway. And make the parts as accurate as possible. Why does that seem like it's dragging there? A lot of spring in that wood there. Hope it doesn't spring the fuselage. It didn't, so that's good. Yeah, I don't have much to do except work and build. I don't have any friends here, so to speak, except John. I go over his house once a week. Okay, what do we got here? That looks good. So we got to figure out how we're going to do the cow. Piece of sandpaper is glued to the bench. The bench is straight, squared, it's shimmed up. If you look here, there's balsa wood here and balsa wood here. And Bob Hunt shows how to shim a bench on his alignment video. I hate duplicating what other guys have done as far as building goes. We also know we're going to need 4 pieces of longerons that are 8 by half by 19 3/4. So we'll use that crappy wood that I had, and we'll cut 4 pieces 1/2 inch wide. I'm going to find my stripper. How I measure 1/2 inch is I just clamp it down on a piece of 1/2 inch wood. So you know you got a 1/2 inch. $19 3/4, eh? And hopefully those will come out straight because the grain kind of looks screwy. But we'll see. Yep, nice and straight. Probably should have trued that up, but it was pretty true to start with. That's amazing. You know, part of the thing that's going to be missed about this hobby is the craftsmanship. I mean, a lot of guys want to buy and fly or whatever. All my airplanes are built, not bought. All them molded airplanes, the guy who really built it, the guy who programmed the CNC machine. Okay, we got the longeron material. We'll save that for something else. Looks like we have some formers here. F5. Why would F5 look like that? Oh, let's see. F5. There, I see. There's a 1/4 inch sheet for the floor of the cockpit. Okay, if you look here on F5, it's only a 1/4 inch inset, and this is a 1/2 inch. These are all 1/2 inch. Now let's see here. Will the width of these bearers work for this? So I got a vernier caliper here. The engine bearers on this motor are 1 and 212 thousandths apart. And the Fox 35 is 1 and 190 thousandths apart. So they're basically the same width. So either way we go, we can leave those. So this set of engine bearers will work. These formers will work. That's 1 and yep. So I don't have to do any redesigning on any of the formers. That's good. I'll put the motors up right out of the way. It looks to me like they've got this longeron is part of the belt to hold the stabilizer. This is a 7/8 block. I've probably used my 1 inch block and sand to shape. I can get more curve out of it. And I do have the 1/2 inch piece for the bottom. See any questions? All right, been running about 45 minutes now. Let's see how long we've been going. Average watchers 10 minutes. Yeah, kind of boring, but that's okay. Where do these come from? 19 3/4. Where's my yardstick? I know I got a yardstick here. Now this set of plans comes with rib templates or rib cutouts, but we're not going to do it that way. It's the old way. It's not real accurate. Of course, you can stack sand. That's relatively accurate. But like I say, the best way to do things is the lost foam. 19 3/4. So we got 19 3/4. And where does that lie? That stops at F3A. So they come from F3. They're 19 1/2, not 19 3/4. Yeah, we'll just cut them at 19 3/4 and then trim them up. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, super chat, whatever you guys can do, sure helps out. So we're gonna cut them all at the same time. I don't want to waste a lot of time. Oh, not boring. Okay, great. We're going to cut all these at the same time because I do not want to mess around. All right. We're going to bring them all to the same length. I'll go ahead and put a clamp on them. I bought these little clamps from Harbor Freight. About $2, you get a bucket full of them. We'll use the square again, just as I did before. Not as critical on these longerons, so I'll just cut them in the air like this. So we have this piece. All right, put this in my scraps. Get this off the bench. As I stated, I'll open this up for chat in about 15 minutes. We'll chat a half an hour or so, and then I'll go do my thing. But I'm going to do this for about an hour a day, every day, except for, well, I'll probably do it even on Mondays and Fridays, but at a different time than Rusty's hangout. Okay, let's cut the front of these fuselage pieces. So how am I going to figure this out? So another thing, for you guys say, well, I don't have any place to work or whatever. Hey, this place, my motel room was bigger than this place. Let's see, another question. Oh, thank you, Jack. Okay. Been painting today. You can tell my hands are black. Been painting black, and God, I hate painting at work. I hate it. Okay, so lost my pen again. There we go. So we're gonna set the motor back 3/4 of an inch. Is it 3/4? Nope. Can't possibly set back that far. This is a short shaft. Yep, 3/4 of an inch is the setback on that. So we're going to put a 3/4 inch extension on it. I got to have that mark there to see where the needle valve comes out. This is what I meant by this line was not planned in the right area, because you want the needle valve to come out right on the cowl brake line. That way you can take the engine in and out of the airplane without having to take the needle valve in and out. So we need to make a mark here. So we got 3/4 of an inch, and that's Believe it or not, pretty damn close. We're going to hold that up an 8. Yep, that line is right there. So my guess was right on the money. However, I made this cowl pretty deep. I'm going to be using a 4-ounce Sullivan clunk tank instead of a perfect tank or Vico or whatever. So I want a little more room in here to hold it back. So we need to drop this down another 3/8 of an inch. So we have some area. We'll drop it down a 1/2 inch. Now, the next thing is when you're figuring out this cowl brake line, both sides of the fuselage up here can't be the same. The exhaust side has to have a different look to it so that you don't have to glue an extra piece on later on. So this side here, we're going to draw them the same, but this side here gets cut different. And I'll show you what I mean by that. The engine, let's see, got to set it back here. It's pretty close though. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, the way that that's set up. No. So it needs to be here. Just for that nice clean look on the nose. I've been, especially when you have a prop extension, you can really make a nice looking nose. So the first ones you want to cut are going to look like this. That'll be more clear when I go ahead and cut that. I got to make sure that's going to be enough. See that little jog right there? It comes back this way and down. That's on the inboard side where your exhaust is, so that the exhaust hole is here and you don't have to worry about adding pieces. So you don't want to just make a straight cut. You want to come down here and stop, then 90 degrees down, and then parallel to this line back, and then carry on with that line. That way the cowl, when it comes off, let's see if I can show you on this airplane here. Well, let's do it on the Monado here. All my airplanes are basically done in the same way. Oh, can't really see. That's the Monado. You'll see how that's straight there. Well, that's part of the fuselage, and then it goes down this way. Instead of having a really strange looking opening, the nice thing about pipes is you don't have to worry about this business. But if you're gonna make an airplane, you're gonna make it as easy as possible. I'm not sure you can see that, but we'll try. Yeah. If you'll notice here, right in here, this is part of the fuselage that drops straight down, and then this runs this way, then this comes up this way, and the hole for the needle valve is right on the brake line. You have to kind of figure that out before you do all this business. So it's just something that I've learned over 50 years of building. I'm not exactly sure how many years I've been building. Couple anyway. So, got to study this close. Got it set back there. That's right on the brake line. That's right on the exhaust line. You know, I ought to drop that down so I don't even have to monkey with that stuff. Huh. I could do that. To think about this for a bit. Drop it down this way. Adding that ½ inch really, I'm not sure whether it helped me or hurt me. I come down this way. So then the other side would come straight down this way. This angle is correct, and we want this piece to be left on the fuselage. Like I say, in a couple of minutes here, we're going to open it up for chat. I'll just go ahead and post the link in the chat. Let's see here. My cap. So let me see if I can give a better idea of what I'm doing here. Now, if anybody remembers, I had an S6B Supermarine. I think that was about 2011. That was a PA65 on a pipe. There, that's a better view of what we're doing here. So, to give you an idea, what I'm trying to lay out is I'm trying to lay out for this exhaust to come out that hole right there and have the needle valve come right out on that brake, which it does. So then I have to figure out which is going to be the best way to do this. So the left side is going to go straight, and the right side, I'm going to have to cut that nose one at a time. There's just no way around it. So this is that stuff I was talking about at the beginning. The template plastic. This is for quilting. It works all right, but it won't work on my plotter. I wanted the C-temp will work on my plotter. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the fuselage nose piece separately, one each. I've lost my knife. It's another bad thing about working in a little spot like this. I don't have any room to keep track of what I got. But if you're not asleep by now, I'll go ahead and open it up for questions, answers, whatever. Got 8 viewers. So if you want to join, we're going to go right here. And now we want to do this. There we are. Let's try this. You can Control C. If not, I'll have to do it another way. Control V. Go ahead and hit that link. Come on in, ask me a question. If it doesn't work, type in here and let me know that it doesn't work, and we'll do it another way. We'll go in and copy this. Let's do this. Oh, there comes somebody. Charles.
Hey, Sparky, how are you?
I'm good. And turn off your sound there. Got it turned off?
Yeah, I just muted my mic on the other YouTube channel.
And muted the sound.
Yeah, muted the sound.
All right. Well, what I'm doing here is I'm giving an hour lesson a day on the trucker special.
All right, sounds good.
Maybe I should have made it so everybody followed me. Settings. Calendar. Profile more. Everyone starts muted. Starts hidden. Everyone followed me. Okay. All right. So now, there we go. So we're not going to be flipping back and forth. I mean, you still can hear me and I can see you, but we're not going to be flipping back and forth for YouTube. You got it, Charles?
Yeah, I got it. I was just adjusting my blinds so it's not so glaring.
All right. If you want to join the chat, it's in the YouTube channel. In the chat in the YouTube, I run it about almost an hour. So we didn't get a whole lot of progress done, but I did get some figuring done. And I got a few pieces of wood cut. But it doesn't, if I work on this an hour a day, it'll take about 40 days to get it built.
Wow.
I'm basically doing it because I'm bored. It was either that or I was seriously thinking about buying a Yamaha keyboard and teaching myself learning how to play the piano.
Wow.
I don't know how to play any instrument at all. Nothing. But, with nothing to do here.
Hey, you might as well build.
Well, the problem is you've been here before. You know how big this place is. How big is this place, Charles?
It's not that big. It's comfortable for a person by himself. You definitely take away any excuses. I mean, there's no excuse. You can build anywhere, obviously. I mean, yeah. I was just telling my daughter I was there. She was in here a few minutes ago. I said I was there. I was on the floor after you guys dropped me off in Dayton.
You weren't on the floor. I got you a
That's
cot.
right. That's right. It was a cot. It was low. I was about a foot off the floor.
Yeah.
I was a low rider.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm not complaining. You took very good care of me, Sparky. I have no complaints. So I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all.
well, that's good.
Oh, absolutely, man. Sparky, I do not understand that when you're saying that cutout on the cow, that little notch you're making. I
It'll be
just
it'll become more clear when I do it.
all
You'll
right,
you remember flying the Junar, right? If you look at the Junar, it didn't have a boxed hole, for the exhaust, because it's laid out like this. This this cutout. This is the top of the muffler, top of the exhaust port right there. So the muffler sticks out here. If you just cut it straight across, you got a great big gaping hole there. So it has to have this notch, this extra piece of wood here, or else you have a huge hole. The exhaust port is down here. That's
oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
so that when the cowl goes on, there's not a gaping hole up there.
Oh, okay. All right.
If
Wow.
I went straight down, there'd be a hole. That would be empty right there. Right here would be empty. So you wanna make sure that you do enough planning that the spray bar needle valve comes out right on the cowl split line.
Right.
So you can take the motor in and out without having to move the needle valve. And you want this to lay out so that the exhaust is right here. So you can make a real nice hole, nice clean hole. And then the cowl joint on the other side will be straight. This
Okay.
this side here is the only side with a step in it like this. The other side is straight. So it's a nice clean line. And then of course I use that 64th plywood around all these lines, so you got a nice crisp edge on it. I'm glad I added that extra half inch at the bottom of this for the clunk tank, because I think that I wouldn't have had any place to mount the tank if I'd just cut that off there. I got a 6-ounce tank here, but I don't have a 4-ounce tank, and they're pretty small. I used a 4-ounce tank in my Nobler that I sold Jerry. I always wanted.
How's Jerry, by the way?
He's doing all right. He's at work every day, so that's good.
Oh, good.
As I stated, it's kind of boring, whatever. Tomorrow I will be putting clear on this airplane.
Wow, it looks nice. What I can see of it. Wow, that looks pretty good. That looks good. My goodness.
I'll put a coat of clear on it tomorrow. I got the pens cleaned out so I can ink it. And then Saturday I'll finish clearing it and start polishing it, and then Tuesday I'll fly it.
Now, I can't see the fuselage. Is there any trim besides blue on the fuselage? Okay. USA, and then you got something on the rudder.
It's an eagle.
Nice.
And on the nose is a star and a checkerboard.
Nice.
It's plain. I'm thinking about maybe adding some green up here. I could add and add and add. Right now I changed the mufflers out. It's at 60 ounces. So I don't have a whole lot of room to play, you know.
Right, right.
If it was at 58, then I could add some more shit to it.
So all those like wicks and the checkerboard, that's all paint.
Everything's paint, yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
The Eagle, if you look at the Eagle, it won't show up, but
I can see it.
this is red, and then it comes back, fades into yellow, and then there's some blue in the eye with a yellow dot on it. So I mean, it's pretty tough to see, but
It's pretty. That's a pretty shaped rudder. Also, I like that rudder shape.
it's the same as my other ones. Like I say, this is not Billy's Junar. I just stole the name. It kind of looks like his airplane, but it ain't.
Yeah. When I saw that yellow Junar at the Nats, I could see that your plane looks totally different because that Junar at the Nats, that wing chord just gave me the idea that it was much wider. I don't know if it was or not, or if it's an illusion, but it just seemed like that wing was with the flaps was much wider than the orange Junar was.
Nope, same chord.
It must be the paint scheme, just the way his is painted versus yours. Yours just looks aesthetically better to me.
His airplane is a Billy Junar. That's and
Hey Jeff,
Hey Charles, how you doing?
good man.
We missed you on Friday.
Yeah, I just had stuff going on. I still got a lot going on. I'm trying to uh, clean up a little bit. You know, things have slowed down a little bit. I'm trying to get organized, and I was working on my Strega just a little bit, not a whole lot, but I still hoping to get to my Strega today. Still working on the crutch and the fuse.
Well, that's cool. Did you get your boards cut?
You mean the filler blocks?
No, you were talking about doing the engine crutch and using a table saw when you called me the other
Yeah,
day.
for the filler blocks. Yeah, I got those cut. I went to a friend's house, and he cut me a bunch of them, so I have plenty. So for my next build, I won't have to waste any time. I'll have all the filler blocks that are set up for my K77s, so I'll be able to just put crutches together. Actually, I have a second crutch that's just not glued up yet.
You know, if you ever need anything like that, all you got to do is give me a buzz, give me the dimensions, give me your address, tell me what kind of wood you want to make them out of. I'll saw them up for you. I've got a
Wow,
good table saw and a miter saw.
well, that's really nice. I appreciate that. You know, actually, I have a table saw. I have a table saw right now. It's wired for 220, and my house is all 110. So I just need to rewire the motor, and it's my dad's table saw.
don't rewire the motor. Just add another 110 line on the other side. Make it 220.
Yeah.
Real simple to do.
If you have two separate circuits, one on either side of the fuse box in your garage, you run one extension from one plug and one extension from another, wire them together.
No. Do it this way, Charles. If you open your fuse box up and take the cover off of it so you can see the fuses, there's going to be two sides. There's going to be a right side and a left side. You want to come off one black wire off of each side and then a white wire off the common. So you want to run 3 wires to the saw. So it's real simple. Just you can get a piece of a 10 gauge orange wire at Home Depot or whatever, and wire into that fuse box. One, it's going to have a black in that orange in the orange cable Romex. It's going to have a black, a red, and a white. So you want to put the black on one side, the red on the other side, and the white on the common, and then run it to a plug-in, and you got 220. It ain't no big deal.
Yeah, the only problem is there's a couple problems. One, I I don't own this place, and the second problem is my fuse box is in the hallway upstairs, and my garage is downstairs and quite a bit of ways. It'd be kind of problematic to run the Romex down to my garage.
Yeah, that would be the only reason to find two separate circuits and make two 110 cords into a 220. But it's like Sparky says the right way to do it. I say the job site way to do it, so to speak. When we needed 220 on the job site and there was none to be had, that's how we did it. We just grabbed two separate circuits and hopefully we were on the right one. If not, we burned up the shop's equipment and it wasn't our problem.
Or you burn your house down.
Yeah.
That's why we always did it on the job site, Sparky.
Wow, it's amazing. I don't want to play around with this place like that. So I'll just rewire the motor for 110, and I won't have as much horsepower or torque, but I'm just cutting balsa wood for the most part, and maybe as thick as a 1/4-inch ply, you know.
You're going to be cutting maple for motor mounts. Maple or probably poplar.
Yeah.
Poplar.
I'm sure 110 can cut it though.
My machine's a 110.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll cut it. Yeah, if I lower it to 110, I think I'll still be able to cut what I need to cut. If I have to, I'll just go slow, you know.
Yeah. It's not like you don't have time to do it.
Yeah. That's right.
Remember how Rusty was asking me how to make YouTube highlight a certain person? Well, I figured it out tonight. This software is kind of crazy.
Right now, Sparky, your bench is highlighted.
Right, but it's going to switch to you, and then it'll switch to Charles. You'll see. It's lagging behind.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine. I'm just studying your workbench. I always find people's workbenches interesting.
And there's junk on it. It's just crap.
Yeah, but you know what? It's still interesting.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Sparky, about needle valve placement in Fox 40. If you got time to take a look at it.
All right, go ahead.
If not, it can wait till Friday. It's no big deal.
No, go ahead. I mean, I was only going to build for an hour, and I built for an hour, and now we're at the bullshit session, and I'm going to shut this off at 10 o'clock. So.
Okay, well let me go grab the Fox so I can at least point at what I'm talking about. I'll be right back.
I'm not sure what we're looking at here. I'm looking at the wall with a pillow on it. You see that, Charles?
No, I just see your workbench. Oh, now I do. Okay, now I see the wall. I see Jeff Riley's wall. That's Jeff Riley.
Right, that's Jeff Riley's wall with a pillow on it. What the hell is a pillow doing on the wall?
You know what? That's a good question to ask him.
What's that, Sparky?
Why is there a pillow stuck to the wall?
That's actually a canvas TV cover. I'm actually outside. I'm in my patio right now. Because my Wi-Fi is better in my patio than it is in my shop.
Okay, well, let's see the Fox.
Okay, the Fox is right here. It's one of those deluxe 40s.
Right.
Can I move this needle valve down here? Drill a 532 hole in that thing and be good with it?
What's the dimension from the bottom of the engine bearer to the center of that hole?
Actually, right now, it is, let me guess that it's going to be 3/4 of an inch or better. I got to
No, to the bottom one where you want it to be.
The bottom hole is going to be a 1/2 inch.
That'll work with a wedge tank.
So that's what I want to use because I want to put this in my Lark.
Yeah.
But is there any reason I could just drill a hole in at the size of the spray bar, right?
Make sure you don't get any shavings down in there. Turn the crankshaft so that the port is closed. Drill it upside down or whatever. Pack something in there or whatever. You want to make sure to blow it all out.
Right?
Huh?
And then just wash the shit out of it.
You just blow it out. I mean, it's only going to be aluminum that goes in there, but you don't want to get it down inside the engine, so make sure the port is closed.
Oh, yeah. I took that into mind. And I know I got to throw this needle valve away because that needle valve ain't going to be no good. The stock Fox needle valve.
Why are you using that engine?
Oh, because this is my other option to my K&B 35. It's either this or a K&B 35 in my Lark.
Well, either one of those motors are not very good. That's the only problem.
I know the big problem with this one is it weighs a ton. I think my truck is lighter than this motor.
Yeah.
But it does make a ton of power.
Let me see the back of it. Is that a coffin back? Yep.
Yeah, it's like a Mark IV or Mark VI. It's an iron sleeve. I got a stuffer in it. So I'm sure I'm going to have to block off the hole to pin the stuffer in. And I know you and Adamson told me that my K&B was not a good choice for that plane.
Well, neither's that engine, really.
Okay, how about a Fox 35?
How much does the airplane weigh?
Right now, well, it's ready for color without an engine, with the landing gear, but with no engine. The airplane weighs 31 ounces, covered, ready for paint.
Well, let's figure it out. 31, it's going to be 37 plus 6.
Okay, we're looking at 37 right there.
Plus paint. 6 ounces for paint. 37 plus 6.
Okay, that's going to be 42.
43. But
43.
yeah, Fox 35 would pull that. But you're going to have to stay away from the paint because the paint could kill you.
Yeah, and that's one of my problems because I paint with automotive paint, so it's gonna add up a little bit.
A little bit, my ass. The other day, let me see if I can pull this up here. Pictures. I sent a picture to John Jordan. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on the screen. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it or not, but let's present it to everybody.
Right now, you're presenting.
This is automotive paint. Kind of. There we are. I don't know. Can you see that? There it is. You see that chunk of white shit there?
Yeah, what is that?
That's paint.
Oh, okay.
That's dried automotive paint. How much do you think that's about how much it takes to paint an airplane? How much do you think that weighs?
That probably weighs about 18, 20 ounces.
No, 12.
That's 12?
Yeah.
Shit, it's lighter than I thought. But that's out of the bottom of the mixing cup?
Yeah. That's about how much it would take to paint an airplane. But that about an inch. It was about an inch and a quarter, inch and a half tall, in the bottom of a mixing cup. So about 3 ounces of 3 fluid ounces of paint equals 12 ounces of weight.
Wow, it's heavy.
So these guys that say, well, I only sprayed 1 coat on my airplane to clear, and it only added 1 ounce, is BS.
No, 1 coat of clear on my 50-inch plane. My last one, I think it added almost 3.5 ounces, maybe even 4.
And that wasn't a real good. That wasn't a real good coat either.
Not really. No, I've been playing with these water-based auto colors, just trying to see. But you know, I started looking into Randolph because you told me they're right down here, not too far from me. I started looking into Randolph, and not only can I drive down there to pick it up, they'll mail it to me.
Where are you at?
I'm in LA, right? Not just southeast of LA Airport.
They'll send it to you?
Yeah, they'll mail it to me. I can drive down there and pick it up. I got a friend that lives about a mile from their shop.
I bet it's going to be super expensive there in California. I'd like to know what
The price?
What?
What's that?
I'd like to know what a gallon of clear costs in California and a gallon of thinner costs.
I couldn't tell you about the thinner because I haven't inquired about that, but just like a quart of white base coat is $35.
It's $20 more than I have to pay for it here.
That does not surprise me. We have too many EPA rules out here in California.
I just got a shipment.
A friend of mine in Arizona can get it for $23.99 a quart.
I just got a shipment today of 1 gallon of thinner, which is $42, and 1 quart of paint, which is $17 shipping, 75 bucks.
Yeah, I should have them ship it to you, and then you ship it back to me. It'd be worth it because it's $10 more just for me to buy it out here in California.
I don't want to get involved in the shipping.
I don't blame you. It cost me $35 a quart to buy the paint.
Hey Jeff, you know there's a bunch of guys going to Golden State from Arizona. Just find out who's going to Arizona, have it shipped to their house, and then have them bring it to Golden State.
I could have it shipped to Steven's house in Vegas because I'm going up there in October.
Yeah, that's an idea.
We're gonna go up. My wife and I are gonna go up on Thursday, and we're gonna drive home on Monday. So I don't know if that works into what your plans could work out, but it's going to be work. Let's see, it's what, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. We're going to go the 7th through the 11th.
Yeah, I have to wait and see how I fare out after the Golden State.
Okay, and we're planning on staying at South Point, so because that's the best rates we can find that far out right now.
Okay.
That place that Steven has is the same price as South Point, but if you look at all the reviews on the place, it's like Motel 6 would be better.
You guys, I gotta go. It's my son. It's his birthday. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, I'm gonna shut the stream off anyway.
All right, Sparky. Hey, thanks for your help with that fox, man.
Hey, Seaboy.
All right, guys.
Thanks
For watching. Fair winds, tight lines. I'll be back tomorrow night.
Fair
See
winds.
ya.
See you Friday.